and welcome to the program. I'm the Greek from Toronto. He's the Baron of what is arguably Canada's butthole, Barrie, Ontario, Marty Roberts. Together, Greek, the Newfie and the Greek. This is the sports wrap on the Fired Up Radio and Television Network. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? Say hi to the fans. Don't be shy. Come on, get in here.
I'm doing all right. You know, it's starting to rain a little bit up here. So, but things are going good. Hello to everyone watching right now, whoever it is, however many people. I don't know. Might be a goose egg. I don't know. What's happening with you?
I'll tell you what's happening with me. The television batteries are a little bit on the low side. They're running out. I'm all over the place, flipping around. We got Euro French Open, awesome semifinals. Got the Greek in the finals, Tsitsipas against Djokovic. Blue Jays, Final Four in the NHL's been determined. NBA's getting to the short strokes in terms of their playoffs. Blue Jays, and what else do you want, man? Plus, I'm here too, buddy. So
here's what I want to know before we start talking about sports. Things are starting to open up now. Once things open up, what's the one thing that you want to do?
Really, the one thing again, man, there's really not one thing that I want to do that I haven't already kind of done, right? You know, I take care of the hair. I like to go for a little bit of a tan. I like to get a little eyebrow thread. Actually, to tell you the truth, I like to go, get a little tanning lotion. I'm not the kind of guy that likes to sit in the sun for 9 hours and roast like a tomato. I'm a shortcut, right? I like to go in the booth for 15 minutes, and I got a little routine, so I miss that. But more than anything, man, obviously the two of us run the club down at East York. I just want to sit on the bucket, man, and have a couple of smokes and just smell the grass. Watch a little of what is probably one of the last loves and one of the true loves I have in my life.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when baseball starts back up. The one thing I'm looking forward to do once everything opens back up is going to a Marianas Trench concert. I love going to see those guys. It's the only group I've ever seen more than once. Everyone else I go see one time. Marianas Trench is the band that I like going to watch.
Really, that's interesting. Seeing as I never heard of these people, bless man.
Hey, if you go to a concert, you'll fully enjoy their concerts. They're a Canadian band.
Well, again, what's preventing you from once in a while, man, throwing an invite my way?
I would, but I think anyone above Toronto would not have you here in the Barrie area since you called it the butthole of Canada.
All right. That's not a stretch anyways. So down to 4. Tell the audience who's coming on in about 20 minutes.
Well, we'll have in about 20 minutes, we'll have Wright State, Tyler Black coming on. He is a projected Major League draft pick in this upcoming draft in July, so he'll be joining us. He just got done the regionals in Knoxville where they unfortunately lost out, but he had a great run at it, so we'll have him on in about 15, 20 minutes.
All right, sounds good. In the meantime, obviously we're down to 4 in terms of the NHL playoffs. On one side, you got Tampa Bay, Long Island, which many, including myself, could have predicted as a portion of the semifinal. But on the other side, you have the Montreal Canadiens against Las Vegas. Who saw that coming?
I definitely, and who saw Montreal sweeping the Jets? Like, it was bad enough they came back after being down 3-1 against the Leafs, and then they rolled off another 4 against the Jets. So they're going along right now, and it just proves. You look at all the teams that are in; they all have solid goaltending, right? They have goalies that steal them games, and they have big time players that show up when it's needed. So I'm looking forward to Montreal Las Vegas series just for Fleury and Price to see how they both battle.
See, it's funny that you mentioned goaltending off the top, and I agree with you. Obviously, you need your guys. Obviously, you need your backstop. Obviously, to be one of your best players. That's not we're not revolutionizing the game of hockey by saying that. But here's what I see, Marty. I see a certain type of player. We look at the Islanders like Pajos, Clutterbucks, a lot of guys that can play the game a little bit greasy, skate around. I see the same things in Las Vegas. Obviously, Montreal's shown they can play on the defensive side of the puck. They got those older veterans. They got some young guys. So to me, the four teams consist of a special brand of player, right? Not necessarily the most talented guys, but a special brand of player. And as a matter of fact, a certain type of player that obviously the Leafs kind of lacked in their run.
Yeah, it's we spoke about the Leafs over the last little while about what they have to look at. Yeah, they added some nice additions there, but maybe they were a little too old. Maybe they got to get a little younger and get that same type of player younger. You're right with these teams that are left. They have that, those type of guys that go in the corner and muck it out, get the puck out. I want to know though, did we put the Northern Division too high as a division or too low as a division as a whole? I just don't know.
I will tell. And that's a fascinating point because obviously at this point in time you can't decide, but when you're going to know in about 1 week. Depends how Montreal comes out against Vegas. Depends the style of hockey. Depends if they can compete. Depends if Montreal can do to Vegas what they did to Winnipeg and Toronto in games 5, 6, and 7, especially for the Leafs. Shut the ice down, slow the game down, make it a mucky game, and have Price stand on his head, right? Can they do that to Vegas? And if so, then obviously maybe we look at it completely different. And having said that, would you then consider, if you're in a Leaf position, management or a fan, would you consider the loss to Montreal a little different in terms of what your roster if they go on to beat Vegas?
I don't. When you look at the Leafs in the Montreal series, the Leafs have no one really to look at but themselves, not anything else. They're up 3-1, one goal away from just burying it and winning it 4-1, right? So I don't know if they look at how Montreal designed, because I think the Leafs did sort of the same thing. They just maybe got the wrong veterans to bring in that allowed them to take it to that next level. Montreal brought in, the Stalls and who did they get in there late? Shoot.
Stahl,
but they brought
Perry.
A couple. Perry, yes, Perry.
Yeah.
So Stahl, Perry, they got some guys on defense a little older. So maybe to at least look at that and say maybe we look for more of those type of guys. I don't know what they're going to do. It's going to be interesting to see what Dubas and the rest of the brass does with the Leafs at the end of the offseason.
Or they turn around and look at it this way. Potentially, you say I lost your captain down somehow at 3-1. We're one pass away, one shot away from moving on. Beat this club in 5 games, move on to and given how we saw the Jets come out, right? So maybe we don't got to do nothing. Maybe it was just a growing pain. Maybe we got to address certain issues. And the one thing that I would suggest is obviously take a hard look at a guy like Seth Jones, who's 1 year away from free agency. Columbus is shopping him around. If you want to put in all your chips, if you want to put all your chips in right now, you try to find a guy like that, because obviously it doesn't take an expert again to figure out what was missing in terms of the Leafs. A right-handed defenseman that can lock 23 minutes a game and run a power play. It's simple. When you talk about Thornton, Simmons, this, that, the other, okay, that's great. I agree with you. You need those kind of players. But when you got the 5 best offensive players, arguably, in that division, and you go 2 for 20 on the power play, something's not right, man. That should be your strength. And if your strength turns out to be your weakness, then you got it, man. And how? You got to get a guy from the point that can fire the puck, keep the opposition honest, and smack a guy in the face on the back end for 25 minutes each day, right? To me, that's the missing ingredient. And then all the veterans that you talk about, all the pieces, minimum cut, bring those guys in and juggle. But until you get that big stud right-handed shooting that can log the minutes, now whether he replaces Riley or not, I'm not sure. Because again, we're dealing with salary cap, so it's tough to have like a wish list and bring everybody in, right? But that's the obvious need here from my end.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. He doesn't necessarily have to score all the time from the point. He just has to be a threat from there for them to have to respect that guy back there, putting the puck on net. A deflection happens, whatever. But something has to happen, and we'll see what happens. I was speaking to a friend of mine who has some connections in the game, and he said before the playoffs started, it was more than 70% that Montreal was going to allow Price to be unprotected. And he said now it's looking like they will protect him, and because of how he's done in this playoffs. If they are going to do him, it'll be for players to trade him, not for nothing like Pittsburgh did with Fleury. So that was interesting to hear him say that.
And again, it's fascinating, and that's one of the beauties of sports. All you got to look at, man, is one, and I've said 100 times, one Galchenyuk giveaway in Game 5. If the Leafs go on to score, Price is out the door. Price is starting for the Kraken. The coach with the nice hair and Bergevin, the two best-looking head coach, not that I noticed, but I got to call it like it is. The two good-looking boys there that are a little bit older, they're looking for jobs. And it's funny, and it all comes down to a break, right? And that's how interesting the world turns, right? On one split second, and that split second is. But I'd be very interested to see how Montreal plays, especially in against a Vegas club, where if you look at them over the last 4 games, that's a team that watch Vegas play. And here's the telltale sign of when you see a club's effective. When it always looks like they got 6 guys on the ice, no matter what, man. They're always 2 guys on the puck, and then 1 guy here, and then like it's just unbelievable, right? And they're just going all guns.
Yeah, I'm still. You're looking at the other series there with Tampa Bay and the Islanders. You can't rate everyone. All year you've been saying the Islanders are going to come back down to earth. Island, they just aren't, right? They could be a team that we might see in the Stanley Cup, so they keep up doing what they've been doing here, and they seem to always come back too. They'll go down a game and then win the next 2 to go up in the series. They don't quit, and I think that might have Tampa in a little bit of trouble coming up against the Islanders, as opposed to if they were to play another team, I think.
Here's the beautiful thing. If you watch Islanders Bruins, especially Game 6, for Leaf fans that are thinking back to a similar situation when Toronto had Boston on the ropes in Game 6, went up, and then couldn't hold the lead. Here's the difference. Islanders got, first of all, they got a system that everybody's bought into. They got a special kind of personnel with a couple of skilled guys, Brock Nielsen, Barzal, got a couple of guys that can put the puck in the net, couple of additions. Palmieri's been unbelievable. But here's the issue. If you watch the last 10 minutes of the Islander-Bruin game, Boston cannot get anywhere close to a slot area or scoring chance. A season on the line, and they're down 2 goals, and they got 2 shots on goal in 15 minutes. You know what that tells me? That tells me that when they're up, they'll put their foot down on you, man, and they'll squeeze you to death. And then when they're down, they'll open up the ice and score on you. So very dangerous club. I look for the Islanders Tampa Bay to go maybe the limit, man. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if we're looking at a Vegas Islanders final. Although again, Tampa Bay, when you talk about the Islanders, Tampa Bay is everything are. They can play greasy too, but they just got better personnel. When you talk about Hedman, Vasquez, you talk about Kucherov, and they can play dirty too. So Tampa Bay's not a sweetheart team like they were some years back, right? They can play any which way the game's delivered. So as tough as it is, who knows with the Islanders? But Tampa Bay's a handful for anybody. Yeah,
these four teams it'll be a great last, before the Stanley Cup Finals. These 4, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't watched very much of it since the Leafs went out and the Penguins went out, but I'll be watching this to see. I was fully surprised by the Colorado Las Vegas. Like, Colorado jumps on them 7-1 in the first game. Yeah, I don't know why Las Vegas sat Fleury out, but whatever. We'll let that be. Then they went up 2-0, and Las Vegas rolls 4 off in a row. So this is going to be interesting. Few games here to watch, and I'm looking forward to it.
Especially too when you consider Colorado and the disappointment that must be within that organization. Talk to some guys there, and obviously disappointed. Colorado for much like Toronto, but a more advanced version of Toronto, was just finding roadblocks where they can't get over the hump. Last year was in the first round. This year it's obviously in the second round to Vegas. You got people questioning McKinnon. They got a lot of decent players. They're just missing some pieces, man. And it's up to that management to figure out exactly what's missing. Because when you look on paper, it's hard to point out. Got some gritty guys. Got some tough guys. Got Mikhail Carr in the back. You got a decent goaltender. So that's the riddle, man. What is missing? How do we get it, and can we squeeze it into our structure? That's the riddle 30 GMs face every year, right? And it's and at the end of the day, there's only one that comes. There's only one that gets the brass ring and the hardware. So,
and unfortunately,
disappointment. Leaf fans are obviously not alone when it comes to disappointment.
Yeah, and unfortunately, probably the two best teams on that side played off against each other in the second round, right? So unfortunately, that's how that ball worked. But now, Colorado has to look over it, and like you said, you have a few connections there, so we'll see what they do. But I wonder how much Kadri being missing hurt them on the in this series versus Las Vegas.
Perhaps. Again, poor Kadri, man. Like you figure this guy's been watching it. This guy's been part of the same horror movie now, time after time. He gets suspended, his team gets eliminated, and then either justified or not, he becomes a pariah within the fan base club he's in. They want him out the door. It's an interesting predicament. I wanted Colorado just to watch a little more hockey. I wanted Colorado to extend to a 7th game just to give Nas a shot to come back in again. For me, I'm not the kind of guy that grew up on a hockey where we're ahead of that magnitude suspended for 8 games, man. I know we're in different times, but I don't know. That's akin to getting out of 3 years for throwing you ever throw your coffee cup out on the street? I've done that once in a while, right? That's like a cop pulling you over and giving you 60 days in a can for littering. That's a little excessive, but so be it, man. I don't know. Whatever the case is. Anyways, enough about this, man. Enough about this. Let's quickly, before we get Black on, let's quickly turn the table and look at your beloved Blue. And the conversation always begins and ends with nobody that's actually plays the game, but the guy who's running it, the little general. What is your weekly assessment of Charlie Montoya, and is the clock? He is
only Charlie. I only call him Charlie from now on. He doesn't deserve his last name to be said anymore. The way that he does things just flabbergasts me. How he does it day in and day out. Just when you think he's getting it, he'll go and switch things up and do it the way he did it 3 games ago. So I don't understand what's happening with him. I'm watching the game the other night, and yes, they won the game, but Romano hadn't pitched in 8 days, which is a surprise to me that he hadn't pitched in 8 days. But so you bring him in the 8th inning to close out the game. Well, first of all, guy who's been out for 8 days, yes, he's feeling really fresh, but he's probably going to have some issues with his control, which was the issue. So he threw 25 pitches in that 8th inning, and Charlie wanted him to go 2 innings save, which wasn't going to happen. So he had to bring Mays in. To me, why wouldn't you just brought Mays in and put Romano in to close the game out in the 9th inning?
Look, if we're gonna nitpick on his managerial maneuvers, obviously there's a long laundry list of Monday morning quarterbacking in terms of what Montoya does. Obviously, I don't agree with the majority of the things he does. But when you look at that case in particular, you got Romano in, you got the heart of the order coming up for the White Sox. They're probably looking at Abreu and other guys. So the 8th inning, for all intents and purposes, was the save inning in that game. If you want to move it forward, I don't know. The point that I'm trying to get. I spoke to a couple of insiders that obviously a little more connected than me in terms of the industry and what people on a different level think of Montoya in terms of the baseball community. So I asked a couple of guys that have been around for a long time, what do you think about Montoya? And here's the interesting piece. Both people, and unbeknownst to each other, said the exact same thing, which I found quite fascinating. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. That's what they both said. He's a nice guy. So what does that tell you? He's a nice guy. They didn't go out and say he's a nice guy. And you can hear Charlie just say, he looks like a decent man. He's paid his dues. He's been around. It's tough to be on the guy. But the bottom line is, man, I don't need nice guys, man. I don't need sweethearts. I need a guy that can run a club. I need a guy that can manage a club. And then I need a guy that pulls the right strings the majority of the time. Nobody's going to be perfect. I'm not even perfect. Remember, we have that situation in Newmarket that's been called into question on my behalf. I still think I did the right, but nobody's perfect. But hold on. Let the Greek get a word in. I need a guy I need a guy that's on the right side of the Monday morning decisions 7 out of 10 times at least, man. And when I look at Montoya, he's a honest to God, he's between 4 and 5, man, and that's being quite generous on my part.
And that's what I was going to say before you went to that. You have to learn from his mistakes, and he's not doing that. He said here, I was listening to someone today on the radio, and they were saying that no matter what in this Red Sox series, their bullpen better consist of their 4 main guys, not bringing a Piamps in, a Castro in, an Edwards in. If they're going to lose this, it better be with their 4 guys that they rely on heavily from the bullpen, because you know what, Castro's a nice addition so far, but again, he's relatively a young guy who hasn't pitched very much, and we're relying on this guy, right? Piamps, the same thing. So we're relying on these guys.
Well, I'm going to stop you right there, and I don't like to, you know me, I don't like to interrupt you, Marty. I got respect for my elders, so it really pains me to interrupt you. But stop it right there, because the conversation needs an added twist, okay? Is Atkins and Shapiro not responsible? Because Montoya, yes, he's mismanaged his assets, but at the same point in time, like, this guy doesn't have, with Barecki down, Mayweather down, Phelps down, there hasn't been adequate reinforcements. Doesn't that fall on the GM and the brain trust up above?
Yeah, we talked about that last show. That's what I said. I said that a lot of this falls back on Atkins. He knew that this was an issue from the start, from the very beginning of the season. He knew this was an issue. Now he hasn't fixed it. So yes, Charlie has to do this, but eventually, hopefully, something happens and Atkins doesn't be like the old guy, stand pat, and goes out and makes some moves. But as you can see, we're joined on the bottom by Wright State's Tyler Black. How you doing, Tyler?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's going on, Ty?
Not much, man. Just at school right now. Kind of stuck down here till early July at least. So
yeah, you're looking nice for you to come on, man. You're looking a little bit. I don't know, a little bit. You took a nap, a little. What are you doing over there, man? You studying all day? You hitting the books hard, eh? You're tired,
yeah,
kid?
Yeah. I mean, I worked out this morning pretty early, so I was pretty much sleeping all day, watching college baseball. So just
no
chilling,
kidding,
man. Hanging out. Nothing much to do down here. So
hold on. You're watching college baseball, man. What about the European Soccer Championships? You're not interested?
I don't know about that, man. I don't know. No.
So you guys finished up last weekend in the regionals. You were named to the All Knoxville regional team. So congrats on that. How was that? That was your first experience in the regionals, was it not?
Yeah, it was.
Besides the Tennessee home run, how was it after that?
Honestly, man, like it was my first regional, as you said, and I didn't know what to expect, and it was just crazy. It was everything what people say it was. Got down there, expected it to be pretty crazy, but I mean, it was a complete hostile environment. It was insane. There's 5,000 people on top of you, and like legit on top of you, because the stadium kind of caves in, and man, it was insane. Even like the home run is just crazy, man. Crazy.
I haven't seen footage of this home run, so I'm going to take your word for it. So describe it. It was like what kind of bomb was this, man? Was it like, were you at the plate? Did you take a little peek and just like, hang and smile a little bit, or was it like a wall scraper, man, where you had to bust?
I mean, I hit a couple home runs. I think he's talking about we got walked off on a grand slam, so that was blowing up everywhere, going viral. So yeah, the first home run I hit, it was crazy. It was like a Canseco play almost. I hit it on the screws to right field, and it tipped off the guy's glove and went over. It was nuts. I mean, I'll take it every day of the week, but yeah, it was crazy down there, man.
And how many games did you guys play there? Was it a double knockout? Is that how it works, or?
Yeah, double knockout. So we played Tennessee. Game ended around, it was crazy. Game ended around 11. Got back to the hotel like 11:30. I mean, we played at noon the next day. It was a quick turnaround. And coming off that heartbreaking of an ending, it was definitely tough. We played Duke the next day, so lost to them. That was it.
So you're in an interesting part in your life, man. How real are the dreams? Like you obviously you're draft eligible. Talk to a couple of scouts. Could really land anywhere from according to Marty, who knows a little more than me, believe it or not, could land anywhere and up to the first round, man. You started the dream. Does it feel like it's a little bit more real and it's like tangible? It's like you're on the cusp, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think it's really hit me yet. And I think I've just done a good job of staying in the present moment. For me, like it's been a long time coming. I feel like in high school I didn't really get that much attention or anything. Wasn't that high of a recruit, so I mean, I think like on draft day, whatever happens, it'll be that much more special. And just being with my parents and everything. But yeah, man, it's definitely dreams coming true. But at the same time, like I've worked hard for it. It's taken a lot of people around me to help me get to this point, along with myself. So,
did Marty ever help you?
A little bit.
Did Marty ever help you?
Yeah. I used to pitch kind of, man. Marty would be
so hold on. So he's had a small hand in your development, you would say, over
the pitching side. That's why he's not a pitcher anymore.
Exactly. No, but yeah, I used to pitch actually. So.
Yeah, given that, obviously, it's an interesting point because if I got goosebumps, man, because I was never good enough to get the call, man. Especially considering instead of a diamond, I was at the pool hanging out. Bad life decisions, but that's besides the point, man. So you're at this point, and you're projected to go anywhere, and up including the first round, man. So if I'm you, I'm thinking about, man, my first AB. You know, I'm just thinking about the uniform, how I'm going to fix the socks, the hair, the whole nine. And I'm also thinking about that damn signing bonus, man. It might be pretty fat, kid, eh? You spend a little bit of time?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things you can't overthink it, right? When it happens, it happens. And like I'll go back to the point you're saying, like when you first came to the Mets, you're relatively no one really knew about. I think you came over. Kemlo brought you over. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
Kemlo had a piece of that. So, but from that time to now, you have busted your ass and got to where you are by hard work. You didn't take anything for granted. You got the right state. You busted your tail there, and it's continued on. And that's what scouts love to see. They love to see guys working their butt off and keep going no matter what happens. You have an 0 for 4 day. Come back the next day and it's all over again. It's not dwell on the past, right? So kudos to you for doing that because you're one of the hardest working guys that I've been around and have seen, and it's great to see that you've continued this on in university.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
You know what? This guy over here, he's one of the kindest individuals, eh? What a sweetheart Marty is, man. What do you want? You want to grease the kid for a couple of 20s later on, man? Take it easy. It's all right. Like when I do this, man, again, it's interesting. Me and Marty been doing this for a while. We're just like two humps, man, two not good enough to play anything. We just talk a little bit of trash once a week. But I gotta be honest with you. Like I'm the Tatis of sports broadcasters, right? So who are you in terms of baseball players? Who's your comp? Like a major league guy that you say, you know what, man, Greek, I'm like this guy, man. This is who I pattern my game after. And you know what, man, in about 3 years, man, he's gonna be looking up at me.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's just a combo of guys. I think I play a similar game style to like a LeMahieu type kind of player. Mm-hmm. Really versatile, can play a bunch of different positions. Really good like contact, bat to ball skills. And I think I'm starting to tap into my power a little bit. But yeah, I just try to model my game after him. Not really strike out a lot, put the ball in play, and compete every at bat. And yeah, like I said, just for me too, going to the next level, like playing multiple positions is huge, and just staying athletic, because you know what I mean. Like any way you can get in the lineup, that's what's going to make the difference. So.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's funny because you speak in one way, but if we look at the game, the way it's being played nowadays, the philosophy is quite different, man. Everybody's looking to go for the downs every swing. So how hard is it to maintain your style and not get like caught up with scouts like 20 dingers or scouts like this or scouts like pitchers they like 97? How do how do you stay yourself, man, and just do you and just hope that works out for you?
Yeah. Honestly, I think the game is starting to change back to like the style like I'm talking about. I think guys coming up and like prospects, I guess, like I see in the minor leagues, they really have low like whiff rates, it's called, and everything. And like I think just for me personally, I just think it's killing the game. For me, like there's so much value in just putting the ball in play with 2 strikes and like beating, not giving an at bat away. And now like that's not to say I'm just gonna shorten up and giving away an at bat with 2 strikes. You know what I mean? But I think just competing and not swinging for the downs, as you said, like every swing, it has a lot of value in itself. And at the end of the day, it's about winning games. And I think
funny enough, you use the word versatility, but it's also versatility is also a mental thing, right? Where you can have the versatility to be 2-3 different hitters in one body, right? Depending on the situation. Some guys are just one dude all the time, same kind of way, man. And those are the guys sometimes at the end of the day, they really struggle, right? It's so sometimes you need to be different at different points in the game. Question that I wanted off the top, I've had a chance to meet your dad, talk to him a little bit. I've had him on air a couple of times. So what's it like for you? Obviously, you look like him kind of a little bit. You got better hair, by the way. I can even tell through the hat. The poor bastard's dipping a little bit. Attaboy. Yeah, man. Yeah, the old man's dipping a little bit, man, but I'll let you tell him that, not me. So what's it like growing up? What's it like growing up and then you put on TSN, you're sitting at home and you got your old man cracking jokes with Leo Reltons and Coach Mitchell?
It was awesome, man. I just had so many experiences that a lot of people don't get to get at like, especially like a younger age. Just like went to the finals. I think I went to 2 games in the finals when the Raps were there. I can name like a bunch of others, but for me, like honestly, it played a huge role in my career, like in like baseball, I'd say, just because like seeing how guys approach their work and seeing how guys carry themselves. And I think obviously that's my dad's job, and like he takes it serious, and like seeing how much he works at his job helped me for sure. But I think that's the biggest thing for me that I took away from it. Just being around the game helped me so much, and just seeing how guys approach their everyday life. You know what I mean? They're professional athletes. They're the best at what they do. So you got, hold on, Marty. So I like to talk up, man. When I get a young fella in here, man, on the cusp, I could talk to you all day, kid. So I'm going to ask you one more thing. So you got a brother that plays the game pretty good. I'm expecting him out at the yard Sunday. We're going to have a little inner squad. We're gonna get on it. You got your dad, obviously. Obviously, he's called a plethora of sports. So if it's the 3 blacks sitting around the table, who's the smartest of the blacks when it comes to sports? So if I wanted a Trivial Pursuit partner, right? I wanted to partner up with one of you 3. Who's my guy? Be honest. Don't be humble. Depends on the sport. I'm going to be honest with you. Definitely not my other brother. He's kind of out there. No. But
what are you saying?
No, he's. I'd probably say my dad, probably for sure, and then me and my other brother are tied. Me and Brody are tied. Yeah, my dad. He's seen it all, man. It's been crazy. You scroll back and like see the '93 World Series, and he's like interviewing guys in the locker room and stuff. It's crazy to see. He's been there from day one with the Raps. He's seen it all. So, and that's good for like me and the rest of my family too, to like pick his brain. Like he's seen stuff that's just other people don't get to see. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. And that, going back to the point that you said earlier about, even though it wasn't necessarily baseball you're around your dad with at these events, you're around these pro athletes. You got to see why they got there, how they got there, what they're doing to stay there. And then you get to pick your dad's brain as the stuff that he's heard or he's seen. It all just brings it to this moment of coming next month for you. Yeah. That, it's going to be life-changing for you, whatever round it is, it's going to be life-changing for you. And it'll be interesting to see and watch you from there. Because I watch a lot of the Mets guys from afar. I watch their stats and all stuff. I don't have the videos to watch, but I watch your guys' stats and all that stuff. So it's great to see you guys do this. How come you decide at Wright State?
Honestly, didn't get really many offers other than that. Surprisingly, I was pretty much planning on going JUCO. Honestly, I had a lot of JUCOs reach out to me late, and I think a lot of schools were on to me like the beginning of my junior year summer, which is a pretty big summer for Canadians. And then I don't know if you remember, I hurt my ankle, so I was out like all summer, and then had kind of like a rough T12 really because I didn't play for a while. And Wright State, I mean, they took a chance on me, man, and I'll forever be in debt to those guys. But yeah, man, they took a chance on me, and I love the place too. The head coach here at the time was at Indiana. Jeff Mercer was here at the time. He and Nate Metzger, the recruiting coordinator here, were kind of the two guys that recruited me. And I just loved the culture here, loved everything about it.
So did they see you at T12, or did they talk to the Mets, or did you reach out to them?
No, they talked to Rich Leach. Leachy kind of hooked me up. They were looking for an infielder, so they came and watched me. I think it was at Butler University, in Indianapolis, and kind of went from there.
Yeah, Leach is good at getting those connections and getting those done. He does an amazing job with all the guys that are leaving to go to college. So kudos to him.
Yep, 100%, dude, 100%.
Does the fact that your stock's obviously risen within the last little while of your life, does that also come with a chip on your shoulder? Like, wait a minute, man. Like, you work hard and like you're bypassing other parts of your career, not looked at as the guy you've become now. Does that leave a chip on your shoulder? Kind of like
yeah, I think I always have a chip on my shoulder. I think that's how I've kind of figured which works for me the best, and just kind of how I approach the game. I always got to play with that chip, and I'm always searching for it. But yeah, I think for sure, like with the draft and everything, there's a lot of guys that they've been on the stage since they've been 14, 15 years old, and for me it hasn't been like that. So I think that's definitely driven me a lot, for sure.
Yeah, you don't take that same chip, or you drop it like when you're walking into a restaurant or a bar.
Yeah,
and you're a humble guy, just a decent guy, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Treat the ladies good.
Oh yeah.
Boy,
always, man.
Boy, very important stuff, man. Good stuff.
So any other Canadians with you there, Wright State, or are you just the lone Canuck hanging out there?
We got one more, Connor Piatto. He's a catcher. He's a huge beauty, man. He's one of my best friends. He's kind of a similar story. He actually lived in Ontario for a bit when he's really young. Played for Fieldhouse, I think, and then moved out to British Columbia and just went the JUCO route and ended up here as a junior, and I think he's got a shot at getting picked up as well this year, hopefully.
Nice.
Pretty good year, so. But
I'd imagine. Sorry, go ahead, man. Finish your thought.
Go ahead. All good.
I'm gonna make the assumption that your response to this next question of mine is gonna be you take politics in school. You know how to speak the politically correct language, right?
Yeah.
All right. So obviously, I'll ask it anyway. So, is there a little in the back of your head, man, when your draft day comes? Do you have like a little secret wish? If you like a little desire, what kind of the jersey you want to wear, man? Is it like close to home? Like, do you think about that, or man, is it like who knows where, man? I don't know. I always liked that San Francisco Giant color when I was a kid. Do you have anything in mind?
I mean, honestly, man, it doesn't really matter to me. I think it's just, I don't really care. For me, it's just a starting point. And like my approach coming into July 11th or whatever is just to, whatever happens. I think I've put myself in a good position, and whoever drafts me, so be it. It's just a starting point. So.
So do you at this point, do you have someone that's advising you? Do you have an agent, or do you just it's on you and your family to make these decisions, or is there someone there that advises you as well?
Yeah, I have an advisor that's been kind of helping me this whole time. So,
do you need any other help? Do you want my phone number?
Yeah, man. I'll take it.
Right?
Yeah.
No, man, you're doing great on.
It took that long for his internet to go down. It usually goes down all the time, Tyler. He's hoping. Here's what he's hoping. He's hoping to get you to East York for a few at-bats to have the Black Brothers play with us. Because we have a few Toronto Met guys that are with us at East York. Anthony Vavarutis, Tyler, plays with Danny Mahoney.
Yeah.
Noah Hall played there last year with us. The Parker twins. So we got a bunch of them that play with us. And that's what Billy's hoping. He's hoping that you come and play a couple of games with us.
Yeah, I mean, I think my brother just got home last week. I think he's going to the summer ball league in the Northwoods soon. I don't know what for sure yet, but yeah, that'd be awesome, man. In like a couple weeks when I get back, whatever. Yeah.
Do I now, man? Because obviously I treat my guys good, man. Like, is there gonna have to be a little? Does a Greek have to go in his pocket and put?
Oh, down he goes.
Down he goes. Hey, he was going to offer you a little scratch. See, you have to go in his pocket to get you some burgers or something like that. But yeah. So are you still doing classes now? Or are you just waiting to come back home, or are you staying down there till after the draft?
Yeah, I'm just hanging out right now, working out. Got a facility down here that I work out at every day. I think I have some workouts scheduled with some teams getting ready for the draft, and then I think I'm planning on coming home June 30th, around that, July 1st, just to be home, and that's important as well. So, but
it'd be great to share that with your parents.
Hold on, Marty. Hold on. I'm trying to recruit the kid. What's your hat size? What number do you want, kid?
7 1/4.
7 1/4?
Yeah.
Done. So, stop laughing, man. I'm being serious, man. I'll do anything to put a winning team on the field, man. I'll even pay you, dude, man. I'll pull a couple of 20s out of my pocket. This is why my cable goes down all the time. Rogers keeps hunting me down for money from 3 months ago, but that's a different story. Anyway, there's a lot of yeah, man. Terrible. You better, that advisor yours better be somebody I never had as a kid, man. Better be good, man. Because obviously.
Oh.
It's here. We'll switch this now. You used to play a little hockey back in the day, did you not?
Yep.
So who is your team?
Leafs.
Yeah, well,
I'm a Leafs fan. Yep.
Yeah, it didn't end well.
Yeah.
You're a Leafs fan? Yeah. All right. So obviously, you know your business when it comes, I'm guessing, to baseball and hockey. Give me the autopsy, man. So, Jeez, leave me alone, man. Give me the autopsy in terms of what you saw missing, what kind of ingredients are necessary, or was it just a puck bounce and you don't do too much and you just run it back with maybe a couple of additions?
I mean, anytime you run into Carey Price, it's going to be tough. That's my thing. But for me, I think Mitch Marner's a problem. I think he's a big problem. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know, man. Very talented club. Just they need some more heart and character. I feel like not enough winners on that team, man. You know what I mean? Just feel like some of them wanted to golf early this year.
Yeah. I agree with the Marner situation. Billy was just talking about being politically correct and stuff like that. And his interview at the end of the season was just someone asked, is there anything you got to improve on? He said flat out, no. To me, that's
hold on, boys. Hold on, because again, man.
See, even Rogers doesn't want him to say what he was going to say because he's going to defend Marner with saying the no. So you're absolutely right. I agree with that. And is the whole family Leaf fans, or is dad and mom and brothers different?
Whole family. Yeah. Yep.
Jeez, man, I'm scared to open my mouth. I keep getting cut off here. Jesus, this internet is terrible, man. Again, Scarborough, Ontario, baby, representing it, man. To the fullest. Look, Bill Callers, I can't launch this broadcasting career no matter what I do, man. I'm going to be a bum the rest of my life. God damn it. All right, so we're talking about Mitchie. You used the word a spotlight and stage earlier. Marner's been entitled his whole life, man. He's got his pot. Marner's been entitled. This is the first time, man, that the world, I'm not talking about pieces, the whole world, Leaf universe, the fans, the press, the media, got on top of him, man. So it's like you can't forget this guy's a kid, man. He's not a man yet, right?
I agree, but at some point, like, he's got to take the next step. You know what I mean? And like, he's the dude. You know what I mean? Him and Ozzy are the guys, and he's just at some point, like, you got to show up when it counts. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's skilled and talented, but I mean, it's been too many times now. It's just
no doubt about it. Obviously, something's got to give here, right? Because when you look at the roster on paper, you see more talent than the guys you're playing against usually. So then, if you have more talent and you continue to lose, it's got to be an issue there somewhere. So it's up to Dubas and company to address it. Obviously, speaking of talent, how closely do you follow the Jays? Give us your almost half the season's now gone. Are you going to join me and Marty, even though he might be your manager one day? I doubt it, but he might. Are you joining the Fire Montoya bandwagon?
I'm not going to say anything about that.
That's right. Hey, exactly. Good call there, Tyler.
I mean, yeah, man. It's. I mean, I don't know. I think Bull's getting hot right now, and that's good to see. And I mean, what a year Vladdy's had so far. He's definitely impressed me. And I don't know, man. They got still very young.
Yep.
Dealing with some injuries, I guess. I think they'll be in a good spot in a couple months, honestly.
Really?
Well, we had a couple weeks ago. We had Landon Leach on here to talk a bit, right? So I don't know if you saw that, but he was still down there rehabbing from an injury, and he was hoping to get back. But hopefully we get to see you doing the same thing down in the minor league complex in the future. Because, like I said, it's just great to see guys from the Mets that I've seen up close and personal work and get what they deserve. And that's just, on my part, that's like a blessing for me to watch you guys do this stuff. And it amazes me to watch you guys play and continue to see what you guys keep doing.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah, man. And get ready, man. I'm just working on the schedule. We're going to plug in a cleanup spot right at Talbot, man. Even though you got to go the other way, man. I'm sure you can find a porch the other way.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know about that, but we'll see.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Marty.
No, I was going to say it was great having you on here. Hopefully we can do it again after everything's all said and done and see how you're on cloud nine. But I something you said earlier, and I forgot to mention, is that it's great that you're going back home to be with your family during this time, because it's all, what mom and dads do for you, and it's great that you're going to have that experience with your parents and your brother. It'll be great to have you guys all together, and I'm sure you're looking forward to that day, and all the best when that comes to you, Tyler.
For sure. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Hey, can I get a couple of tickets, man? When are you gonna forget about me like I meant nothing or what, man?
I'll always remember you. Oh, there he goes.
There, he's gone. But hey, I appreciate it, Tyler. We'll talk soon, all right? And I know my kid talks to you all the time, but he said to say hi. He went golfing.
Awesome. All
right, so we'll talk to you later, Tyler. Have a good one, buddy.
Guys, appreciate
it. Bro. Keep up the good work.
So there you go, Tyler. He could go into his dad's profession. He's pretty good at the knowing stuff and speaking, right? So hey, he's got a career that way and kick his dad off the panel and be with Leo and the coach Jack.
No doubt about it, man. But this guy over here is pretty good too, Marty Roberts. Don't kid yourself.
You just have bad internet. You have bad internet.
How in the blue hell am I going to this budding career? Every time I get ready to deliver a little bit of wit, a little bit of wisdom, I got a big question, man. I'm not talking about little ones, man. Like in between a little bit of levity, seriousness. You know how the Greek delivers like none other. I get shut down, man. I get shut down, man. Continuously, man. And this is frustrating for a guy of my caliber, man. And there he is, the senior vice president, the CEO, the head honcho of the Fired Up Network, Double J, our boss, Joey Preston.
Hold on. Is this a small rant? Are you doing a small rant now because you want me to go? Because somebody's called me up.
Welcome aboard. We got about 5-10 minutes left. It's nice you joined in. You saw the conversation. Great kid. Ty Black, getting ready to get drafted. Awesome kid. He's got his head on his shoulders. Comes from a good family. He's got good hair. Nothing but the best for that guy.
not like
Speaking
mine,
of good hair, you combed yours a little bit. Good, man. What's
hold
on
on,
your
Billy. I
mind?
got to ask you a question. Since you guys didn't talk about this, okay, your 76ers are in action today, but also Pascal Siakam underwent surgery on his back, and Serge Ibaka gone for the playoffs. He's injured his back. He's gone. Are the Clippers done also because they're down 2-0?
Well, you got to figure with guys like Ibaka and Siakam, don't kid yourself because it takes a lot of strength to carry all that money, man. You know what I'm saying? Your back can go out on you if you're carrying. If Ibaka can't hold on, man. Ibaka 3 games averages 5 points and is carrying around $25 million. He can look around and be the best dressed guy. But you know what, man? That's all good, man. See you later, man. Time for you to retire. As for Siakam, I'd be a little more concerned. He's a lot younger. You dealing with back issues, as Marty knows, man. I got back issues myself. I've been carrying this lump for the better part of since I met him, right? But no, seriously, when you got back issues, Marty, especially at a young age, and you're a professional athlete, you know what? That calls for trouble, man. And you know what? That also says to Masai Ujiri and the brass, wait a minute, you made this guy a max player a little bit too soon.
Now, and does his injury, because if they were thinking of possibly making a trade to revamp this whole roster, he would have been, I would have thought, the guy at the front that would be offered. Now they got to think about this with his injury, right?
I don't know, but if you're a rival GM and somebody's calling you on the phone and saying, I got this guy, you know, the spicy one, this, that, the other, what are you going to do, man? You're going to send a doctor over, take a look at him, and you're going to laugh at the guy. What do you want me to take, a stick with a back injury that might not get better for $140 million? What do I look like, a potato head? Get the hell out of here. Masai, hang up the phone, see you later. Joseph, what else is on your mind?
Hold on, I got a question because Marty, sit back here. I'm going to put you in the penalty box here.
Okay.
Me and Billy, it's about time we spice it up. First of all, Billy, this is called the sports wrap up, not the sports wrap. Sports wrap up, and I'm going to say this, if you will, Dusty Rhodes, 2015. Today, passing away. Give me your memories of Dusty Rhodes.
Daddy, you got to keep on keeping on, Big Double J, man. Dusty Rhodes, one of the pioneers.
It's hard time.
It's one of the greats of all time. The wined and dined with kings and queens and ate pork and beans with the homeless, something like that. Dusty Rhodes obviously was a pioneer. And here's the interesting thing about a guy like that, man. If you look at him, he looks more like Marty than the Greek. He's not like the most chiseled guy, Dusty, right? And in an industry that demands superheroes, to be a legend like that on a different tip, man, shows a greatness, right? Because obviously nobody was saying, you know what, man, when I grow up, I want to have Dusty Rhodes' physique. So you got to love him for something.
Norm wanted that. Come on. Norm wanted that. Come on. He had a Dusty Rhodes physique, no?
Listen, I come on here. This is the sports wrap up. I don't want to shellac Rumac behind his back, all right? Let's let it go.
All right, no shellacking Rumac behind his back. And Billy, 15 years ago today, do you know what happened 15 years ago? You were invited and you didn't show up. It's my sister's 15th year wedding anniversary. So happy wedding anniversary to my sister and her husband. Now, yeah. Marty, how many years?
Wait, what did Norm send her?
Norm actually gave her Starbucks card. That's what he gave. All right. So he gave her a star. But Marty, how many years have you been married?
It will be 23 in August.
20. Okay, 20. Michael Jordan year. Come on.
Yep.
Now 23. Now, Billy, we have to talk about this because I know the 99's behind you, and I know you have a 23 LeBron jersey, but now it's a 6 LeBron jersey. Every time he craps out in the second round, first round, or whatever, he changes jersey numbers. Number 6 next year. What do you say?
Well, again, a lot of that is how to generate revenue streams, and another is a man living in a delusional fantasy world that still thinks he's the king. Man, you're not, dude. Man, you're a great one. Nobody's gonna take nothing away from you. But anybody that watch you play basketball, you can't beat Father Time, LeBron. Man, that's the bottom line. And you're going this way. And what you demonstrate in the playoffs is you can't carry a team on your back. You need to surround yourself with a collection of talent in order for you to have a shot at another ring or to be relevant in the NBA. When you're the center of the club, you know what's going to happen? That club's going out the door, as the Lakers did without AD. Pretty simple.
All right, so we got a couple minutes here. Marty, wake up. You change your socks. Yesterday you were wearing white socks. Today you're wearing red socks. Let's start a Blue Jay preview here as the Blue Jays open up a series with the Red Sox. What do you think from the little general? You think they can take 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox this weekend?
They have to take 2 out of 3. They can't go the other way. They got to win 2 out of 3 here. They can't lose this series. That's for sure. Because eventually they're going to get to be 10, 11 games out. And with this young team, that's going to be awfully tough to climb to get back up there when you're that far out. And, tonight they got the race going, Stripling. Yeah, he's a race now, right? So they got, and another good sign was Pearson threw better yesterday. He's striking out 2 guys an inning. Yeah, he's having some control issues, but it would not surprise me in the next week or 2 that he's back up out of the bullpen.
No, whoa. You don't want to rush it too soon, Marty.
Hey, and as you can see, no. Here, we're going to talk about this now, seeing you just want to say that. So far, I have been correct on this Manoah situation. He's had 1 good game. The second one was not great, 3 home runs. Last game was he really struggled. I'll give it to him. He really battled, but this is why I said don't call up. He has to work on that off-speed pitch, the slider and the changeup. He's got the mentality to be there. And that's what he did. He battled his ass off in that game, which was great to see.
So we're not, hold on. How can you say you're right when you just showed you're wrong? If one of the issues was in his inexperience, we didn't know his fragility of the mental variety. You just said without his best stuff.
No, I didn't. No. I did not say Matt. No, don't put words in my mouth. I did not say. I said his secondary pitches. I never said that he can't handle the situation. His secondary pitches are not there.
Hold on, Marty. Let the Greek respond. You brought yourself up. You asked the bet. Now you got to pay the price, Marty. That's what live TV is all about. I got to keep you accountable, partner. So it goes like this. If you say the kid didn't have his off-speed stuff and what have you, and he still gutted through 5 innings, held Chicago down. Actually, the only game the Jays won, right? So that's a testament to him. Not something that you can say is didn't deserve to get called up. Number 1. Number 2, obviously, there's a shortage of arms when it comes to the Blue Jays starting staff and the bullpen. Let the kid develop. He hasn't shown anything to this point in time that makes me question his mental makeup. As for his stuff, obviously he's a kid that'll develop in time. Consistency, that kind of stuff. Give it time. He's a better option than what you have otherwise. And until that changes, throw the kid out there every 5 days. Do we agree?
Here's the thing. You know what? Once he's up, he's up. I don't want him to go back down. I already told you that. I think he should have been left down there for a little longer. But once he's up, don't send him back down. If he starts struggling, move him to the bullpen. Let him figure it out in the bullpen. The problem with being called up is he doesn't have time to work on stuff now. When he was in the minors, he had all the time in the world to work on stuff. Now, you're moving places. You're on the airplane. You're going here. You're going there. There's not as much time to work on stuff up in the big place as it would be. That's why they always send guys back down to work on stuff. They don't say, here, let's bring you to the big leagues to work on stuff.
Hold on. But here's the thing, and this is go, son, it's like telling you, like, Marty, you're not the best broadcaster. Go over to Spanglish Sports, work on your game, and then come back to the big time, the Fired Up Network, right? No. Sometimes you learn on the spot. Sometimes you get thrust into the fire, and you learn as you develop. Now, to me, the question is, does this guy have enough ammunition, physical, mental, the whole 9, to be not a liability? And if the answer is yes, then you run him, no problem. Case closed. Listen to the Greek, Marty. I made you the star that you are today.
I'm not concerned about his upstairs. I'm not concerned about that because he knows he's grown up in tough times. He knows what it feels like. So him pitching in front of is not the thing. My thing is the physicalness of him, his pitch selection, stuff like that. That's what he needs to work on. I was never concerned what's up here because he's a guy that just, when he gets the ball back, he rubs it back and stares back at the friggin' hitter. That's how much of a nutsack he has.
You know what I noticed about you, Marty Roberts, through our tenure, both personally and professionally? That you
Besides
have a
I'm
difficult
good looking.
time. Well, Dan, don't interrupt the Greek like that. You have a difficult time admitting when you're wrong, I noticed, man. But we'll leave that aside.
Which doesn't happen often.
I got. We're gonna close it out, but we got to get 2 more points here. Are you guys concerned? Forget about Manoah and all that. There's another concern. Bo Bichette. Are you guys concerned? Like this guy's swinging away at everything. He's not taking walks. Last year he was taking walks and all that. Are you guys, Billy? Let's start off with you, Bo Bichette, because let's face it, Vlad is having a great year. Grichik's having a good year, but and Teoscar Hernandez is having a good year. But Bo Bichette, I don't know, man.
Marty's going to answer this one better than me because I know exactly what he's going to say, and he's going to be right on the money. Here's number one. Obviously, with Bo Bichette at the plate, I have no concerns whatsoever. He's a young guy. He'll develop. He'll figure out. If he struggles enough and chases enough, he'll have his dad in his ear. He'll change his approach. When I see Bo, I see a guy that's looking to, like, do little man damage every time he swings the bat in a violent way, right? And he's going to get to the point in time where he's going to say, you know what, this is not really working for me the way I want it. I'm going to change my approach a little bit. And with that, patience. And, you know, we're the same people that questioned Vladdy last year and said, you know, I overrate. Don't worry. He's young at 22, man, or whatever age he's relatively young. He's the last thing you want to worry about. You want to worry, man. That conversation begins and ends with Charlie Brown.
All right, Marty.
I'm not.
You're using, somebody told him to use Charlie Brown. Who's that guy who told him, Marty?
Not me.
Right.
Charlie Browns think like Charlie Browns.
That's
not
improvisation at its best,
I
man.
spoke to Marty 3 days ago. That's what we should call him.
I said I'm not calling Charlie's his name. That's all I'm calling Charlie. I'm not concerned about Bo because when Bo figures it out and he starts spraying the ball over the place, that's when he's his best. At his best is when he's doing that. When he lets the ball get a little deeper, hits it the other way. When he starts trying to put that ball over the fence, like Billy was saying, swinging like there's no tomorrow, that's when he gets himself a little bit of difficulty. And if you notice, when he starts struggling at the plate, that's when his defensive side starts struggling as well, right? Like he makes some bad decisions, not fielding balls, not throwing them the proper way. So he's a young kid. He's going to figure it out. He's going to too bad he didn't have a few more veterans on the team that could help him groom into this. Maybe Springer is helping him on the side doing this, but I'm not concerned about him at all.
What the? Who in the blue hell is George Springer helping, man? You know what? It's funny because I completely forgot about this. All right, you got a guy in a dugout. You pay him stacks
30,
like this,
30 million,
like big
30.
stacks, like Joe Pesci stacks, 25 big ones, and the guy sat out 60 games. You got a quad injury. What in the blue hell are you going to play, man? I see the guy, and here's the problem I have, man. I'm a little bit tougher than most guys I play, but that's besides the point. I see the guy when they're showing him warming up and running. That guy's doing sprints 100 miles an hour. This was 3 weeks ago, dude. What the hell's wrong with you, man? Get in the goddamn lineup, man. You didn't get paid here to be overly cautious.
All right.
Nah, man.
I heard that he's the next in line to be the next manager of the Blue Jays. That's all I'm saying is Springer's the next manager of the Blue Jays.
Hold on. As we close it out, you could see I left for 2 seconds because I took a call from our world famous friend. Marty knows who it is. Billy, you have connections in Colorado. Let's talk about this. Kadri to Ottawa or Kadri to Buffalo for Jack Eichel and expect Colorado to be in Taylor Hall. That's what I just heard. What do you think?
Hold on. First of all, I feel to where there's two different camps when you're talking about Nazem Kadri. I'm a firm believer in the guy. I'm a supporter of that guy. And if I'm running an outfit, he can play for me any day of the week, man. Let's get that straight. Number one, I'll take a guy like that over a guy that doesn't show me any heart, that doesn't do anything for me, that's a perimeter player. I'll take Kadri any day of the week, number one. But number two, how in the blue house Kadri going to acquire you Jack Eichel, man? There's got to be Kadri plus.
Buffalo. It's Buffalo.
It doesn't matter. You're not. Listen, if Buffalo, hold on. If Buffalo treats Jack Eichel straight up for Nazem Kadri, you might as well fold the franchise. You might as well burn Lackawanna, Cheektowaga, all the Wakas, man. Because Buffalo should fold the franchise if they get rid of the face for Nash. No, it's not happening, Double J. Maybe a distance.
Willy Wonka. Come on. Okay. All right. So that's
Willy Wonka.
Yeah. Come on, Billy in the Chocolate Factory. Look, he's drinking it already.
Who would have thought that we brought up Willy Wonka and Charlie Brown on this show?
So here's the other thing. You mentioned some Spanish station. All right, nobody in independent broadcasting has an Emmy nominated person on staff, John Freeman Nelson. Don't look at you. John Freeman Nelson, June 19th, we're going to find out if he won an Emmy. John Freeman Nelson.
Whoa. Nelly, I love Nelly. He's one of the greats. He's on. If you want to talk about, and I call him Nelly because we're tight like that, but Mr. Nelson, for the rest of you potato heads, listen up. He's one of the greatest of all time, obviously. When you want to talk soccer, footy, like anything, that guy
He's
is.
a big wrestling. Baseball, soccer. He does Atlanta Falcons.
He's, you know what? Honest to God, he's one of the best around, and it's just a tribute for his career to be acknowledged in the way he has, and it's a blessing. Anytime you get a chance to hear this guy, you know what you're listening to: poetry in motion by somebody a lot smarter than you. He's even toe to toe with the Greek, man. I'll tell you that, man. And it's not easy for me to say.
Do they have an Emmy for best makeup? Because Billy would win.
That's makeup. Billy has makeup on. Wow.
Best makeup by a supporting actor.
You know what this is? That's a good one. Moisturizer cream, man. Keep the Greek skin nice and tight, man. Because eventually I'm going to have to leave the palatial estates and I'm going to have to take this package, man. I'm going to have to take it to the streets and I'm going to have 30 guys laughing at me. My hair's falling out. It turned gray. I weigh 250 pounds. But we're going to be on the field this Sunday, 7 p.m., Stan Wadlow Park. I guarantee it.
Here's something. So yesterday, I'm trimming up my hair with the razor, and I put the clip on it. I thought I put the 5 clip on. Apparently, I put the 2 clip on. So I'm like, what the heck just happened to my hair? And it all just fell on the friggin'. I clipped too much off. So barbers open soon.
I'll do a public service announcement and then we'll close it up on the sports wrap up here on the Fired Up Network. All right, Billy's the manager of a baseball team. Everybody's talking about this baseball team or whatever. Send us your tape, and if Billy judges that you're above board, like above for a hitter, for a pitcher or whatever, you could play on one of the legendary teams. You like that, Billy, eh? Legendary teams, because it has Marty Roberts, the rookie sensation, minor league sensation. It wasn't a press release, Billy, I'm telling you. It wasn't a press release, so I had to read it. So minor league sensation, send us your tapes. Billy, do you need a first baseman, second baseman, third baseman?
Listen.
What? Come on.
The thing, obviously, the thing that I have an eye for and I look for is talent. And talent can come in many forms. So anybody's watching this, sometimes if you want to even volunteer, go and get the Greek a pack of cigarettes or a small regular from Tim Hortons, come sit on the bench. I'll give you a little life wisdom. Watch the game. Hold on. You can even go chase foul balls, and do this, that, the other. We might even give you a hat and a uniform. So all positions are available. And if there's anybody on here that thinks they can play the game and they're between the ages of 18 and 22, man, get in touch with me and I'll take your $200 and give you a shot.
18 and 22. I know a guy, perfect guy. I'm going to tell Marty. His name is Jeff Paul or something or maybe it's Paul Jeff. I don't know. I'm going to send you a tape on him or whatever, but you got to be a little bit, have a little bit of wobbly pops on there, okay? So
Billy does need a guy to hold his car key so he doesn't lose them. So Paul might be the best guy for that.
Yeah, Billy will be happy for that. Very happy with that.
Listen, we got to strike the balance between jokes and seriousness. When it comes to the East York, hold on. When it comes to the East York Bulldogs, might take it very seriously. Let's not joke around. And this is an exclusive club. Not everybody can wear that jersey. There's certain guys and certain character issues that we shy away from. Where both Marty and myself preach integrity. We're raising young men. We joke around, but we take value in what we do. We not only want to have a good ball club, but we want to make sure none of our guys end up in the city clink or doing something that they shouldn't one day and end up like Marty.
I actually have a question here. You guys play baseball or whatever, and it's Step 1 now, and maybe by October we'll be at Step 86 or whatever. But when you play baseball, and I'm no joking aside, do you guys have to wear a mask now or no? Honestly, I'm not joking.
Last year, coaches for the most part and umpires wore masks. The players didn't have to wear masks, and the amount of positive cases for all of OBA baseball last year, when every every team played, and each team played 12 to 15 games, was a big fat 0.
Here,
So I don't know why it didn't start on time. It just baffles me that didn't happen. So hopefully we get started on July 5th and we get a season in here of 15 to 20 games and allow some of these kids to play. Not just at the older ages. These junior kids are, pretty much at the top of their baseball careers, or, some of them are getting ready to pack it in. But you've got these younger kids that haven't been able to play. Kids that are just coming into it at T-ball, rookie ball. They haven't been able to play. And this is just discussing as to what has happened here when this is, as it was shown last year, 0 cases.
Marty,
and when you take a look, sorry, Joseph, just hold on, Joseph. One more thought when it comes to that. When you're talking about, even as we watch tonight, if you watch the Sixers versus the Atlanta Hawks, we'll be watching a little bit later, kind of leaning towards the Hawks in Game 3, but that's a whole different issue. When you watch Doc Rivers tonight, you'll notice something. And it's funny because when Doc Rivers is not talking and there's nothing spewing out of his mouth, he puts his mask on. But whenever Doc Rivers wants to talk to a ref, when the only time saliva is going to come out of his mouth is when he takes his mask off. You go figure. It's a bunch of what I would call at this point in time virtue signaling, theatrics, and a whole damn heap of politics, man. And we'll leave it at that. Double J, tell them where they can reach the old lefty.
No, he needs to.
Hey, you can follow me.
Famous here. Marty's famous. He's a rookie sensation. I'm here to make Billy famous.
I gotta change my Twitter handle. Now to rookie sensation.
You change it. Let's see if it's taken.
No, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram at OldLefty22. I also again want to thank Tyler Black for joining us today. It was great to have him on there, and I look forward to following his dream coming true in July in the Major League Draft.
How about if I change your name from Billy the Greek to Billy the Great Greek? How about that? Look at his face now. Come on. Like the Greek one.
Obviously, you guys have gotten to know by now I'm a humble individual, so let's take it easy. Please.
Take it easy. All right. That's the sports.
Forza Italia, eh? Forza Italia, Double J. 3-0 over the Turks, man. Hold on, before we get going. As you guys know, I'm a Greek descent, man. Speak the language inside out. So had an interesting viewing matchup today because historically the Turks and the Italians, not the Greeks' favorite countries right here, man. Right? We got the Turks' 500-year war, and we got Mussolini invading us in World War II. So it was a difficult game for me to watch. Anyways, Forza Italia, you guys are all right. Horns are beeping. Are they beeping up there in Barrie, Marty? You got any paisanos up there?
I heard a couple beeps. I was wondering what it was. Now it makes sense as to what was beeping.
Yeah.
Hey, I have one question before you go. I've had souvlaki dinner. Does that make me a Greek?
No.
It makes you.
Let me
it makes you. I'll tell you what it makes you. It makes you in need of a treadmill, man. Like yesterday.
All right. So, Billy, as we close it out, another Greek god is in the final of the French Open against Djokovic. Who's your call as we close this out?
Yeah, man. Obviously, Tsitsipas. My man Tsitsipas is trying to break an exclusive club. Even Marty knows about this club because he might not follow as much as he might not know sports as much as the Greek. But anybody that watches knows that Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer have owned men's tennis since Marty had hair. Right? That's a long time ago, man. They've been around since dirt, those guys, and they don't want to let go of that perch, man. And you know what? The only guy that can knock him off the perch is the fellow Greek. Look for Tsitsipas to pull the stunner over Djokovic. Maybe it'll go the limit 5 sets. Let the Greek man hoist.
And you know what? I'm gonna talk to the Greek and Marty because since it's sort of open, what about if we do a show at a bar or in a restaurant where Billy pays for our food, Marty? Come on. It's either Billy or no one.
Whoa. Tell me where and I'm right there. If Billy's going into his pocket, I'm there.
You guys, obviously, man, by the looks of both of you guys, obviously you guys don't miss any meals, man.
Listen,
this might be a costly endeavor for me.
So somebody told me, somebody named Sam, that Billy got a little bit, he was getting small, but he got a little bit big. So is that true? Are you big or small? Which one?
Man, it depends on the angle in which you look, I guess, man. Really. At the end of the day, I'll tell you this, man. We all got what we got. We use it the best way we can, and sometimes it's good enough, and then other times, man, back to the drawing board. So on that note, Double J, take us out of here and tell the fans what's coming up. And by the way, I wanted to give a little shout out. You got a guy on here. I don't know his name. 3 o'clock's on Tuesday and Friday. I watched him.
Joe Duffy.
I watched him, and you know what? Honest to God, for those of you, there's a few of you watching, and maybe you'll watch on the rebound. Check this guy out. If you're a gambler or if you're interested in the philosophies of sport and the way he looks at it, that guy's good at what he does, man. And I wouldn't say that lightly.
Listen, and we're gonna.
Nothing you do is lightly, Billy. Just so you know.
About these big guns right there.
During the NFL season, I may bring the two degenerates, Billy and the guy who has less hair than Marty, Eric Cohen, maybe with Joe Duffy. How about that? A special, I'm going to say, 3-way betting perspective there. And Billy, if you can make Marty money there for that NFL weekend or NFL year,
I'll tell you this, Mr. Duffy, as you see, uses a lot of software, a lot of data, a lot of input. I'll tell you what input I use. It's right here, baby. Just my memory and my gut. And when it comes to the NFL over the last 2 years, I came out of the box slumping last year, but at the end of the year, still 20 games over 500. You couple that with 45 over 500 the year before. At the end of the day, man, I'll take Duffy, I'll take Cohen, I'll take them all on. Nobody's better than me when it comes to picking pigskin. Period.
You know what the good thing is about COVID? Your gut's a little bigger to have some thinking help.
All right.
Why do you think I got the camera this high?
On that note, this has been an outstanding edition of the Sports Wrap-Up here on the Fired Up Network with Marty Roberts, Old Lefty 22, and the great Greek Billy, not Billy the Greek, the great Greek. Check him out Tuesday, 6 p.m. with that shellacker, Norm Rumack. I'll give him a shellac. I could get him. And by the way, Billy, tell him to get you some Starbucks coffee. The guy's at Starbucks right now. The guy's at Starbucks tomorrow. The guy's Starbucks Sunday. Tell him he should at least give you a $25 or $30 or $50 gift card, that cheapskate. What a shellacker.
Short arms, deep pockets, man. Storm and Norman Rumack.
That is Storm and Norman personified. That is Storm and Norman personified. Stay tuned for more great programming.
Have a good weekend, boys.
On the Fired Up Network. Thanks a lot, guys.